Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. You got your girl Candace Cooper here and my host Drizzy Drake in the building. You can find him at Tally__Drake. He keeps it locked and loaded there on Locked On Seminoles, holds it down with his crew, talks about Florida State and all things college football and a little bit of basketball coming soon. I cannot believe we're going to have basketball talk here in just a bit, but we more importantly want you guys to sit in tight and buckle up because it's going to be a great Week 5 conversation. We're going to get you ready for a couple of these games. We also have got some betting predictions to going over the full slate. So we're going to waste no time here, Drizzy Drake. I hope you've had a great week, and I'm so glad to have you here on this Friday show.
Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it's the end of the month. Your boy got paid. It's going to be a good week. I got some brunch plans. I'm meeting up some old friends. I'm bringing up some new business. Woo!
Period.
Glad to hear Kansas too. Thank God it's Friday. And Miami's losing.
At the time that we recorded this.
Yes, that's true. At this moment.
But no, I really think it's going to be a great week for ACC football. A lot of key matchups going into the weekend. And so I would like to start with the Atlantic, as we always do, go to the Coastal, and then round out with some betting scores. So let's get right into it. All right, Wake Forest plays Louisville this Saturday at 12:30. Of course, we'd be remiss if we don't say that Wake Forest is low-key like the best team in the ACC right now, 4-0, 2-0 in the ACC. Can't sleep on our guys. I think Sam Hartman is same how we hoped, but Sam Hartman is actually delivering. So here we are facing the Louisville Cardinals, Malik Cunningham. We think it was going to be a great matchup here. Let's talk about, quarterback play, and then defensively, how can either team stop some really good quarterbacks here?
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I think I tweeted out after that game, I'm like, damn, is Wake Forest the best team in the ACC? And I think we got to add to that, too, that Sam Hartman might be the best quarterback in the entire conference. I don't think any of us actually picked Wake to do pretty much anything at all this year. I mean, and what Dave Clawson has done with the scheme, with offensively, like he's getting people open. He has a stable of running backs with Christian Beal-Smith, A.T. Perry, and Jacory Roberson as his wideouts. And defensively, like they're able to just physically beat you up and down the field. Their corners aren't particularly their strong suit, but defensively, their line play has been amazing. And then with Louisville, like I'm not as high on them as I think as some other people are. I mean, I'm a hater. Don't get twisted with that because I'm not a big Scott Satterfield guy. But Malik Cunningham actually did pretty much show it against FSU, albeit a really bad FSU team. And this game's gonna be very, very interesting, primarily because I think Braden Smith might be out for this game, and he was lost, I think, in the beginning of the third quarter against FSU. So they're gonna rely on Malik Cunningham, who pretty much didn't really play that much in the second half, if you catch my drift, because they didn't do anything after we did adjustments.
Yeah, we love some good adjustments, but I'm also here for teams that can just hold off. And I think that's the key for a lot of ACC teams this year.
Yeah.
Like you start out hot and then you're just like, please just don't die. Just please don't fizzle. Please. You see that with Duke a lot. You see having their various teams come back into games. But Louisville, more importantly, Malik Cunningham, I think he has, impressed people in the sense of you have a resilient attitude coming off of that horrible Ole Miss start. You've kind of just built yourself game after game and sort of pushed through almost 1,000 yards on the season already. So I think that's something, we can't sleep on when we talk about quarterback conversations here. This is the conference of quarterbacks apparently, but the guys we thought we would be having conversations about here, De'Aaron King, right? Sam Howell, we're clearly saying, all right, Sam Hartman, Brennan Armstrong, let's talk about, Malik. Maybe things are changing in a good way. So I think overall I see Wake Forest kind of skating with this win, but if they go 5-0, you can't not say that the Demon Deacons are the best team in the ACC, in my opinion.
No, I kind of agree with that right now because I think they're definitely the best team, in their own division, especially with the coaching staff, especially because Clemson, to me, they're like, I think I was one of the first people to say it on our show and over the summer that when I saw them play and get blown by Ohio State, I saw the same damn thing happen to Florida State with Oregon. And that's literally where you see the dynasty comes to fall and crumbles. You go to a new quarterback from a generational talent. You go from basically T-Law to DJ Uiagalelei, and then you lose coordinators, which Jeff Scott's gone. Tony Elliott is apparently now on the chopping block, even though, in my personal opinion, Dabo has been calling plays, since the Ohio State game, and is now just throwing him under the bus. But yeah, with these quarterbacks, I mean, and you also forgot Kenny Pickett too. Like Kenny Pickett also has been a great quarterback as well. And then Devin Leary, who another quarterback who's definitely showed out and finally beat Clemson and got Dave Doran that big win that he much needed. I wish our quarterbacks did that.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about our next matchup here when it comes to the Atlantic Division. Two teams that Drizzy Drake covers for us on the show. Syracuse and Florida State, big matchup going into the weekend. They play Saturday at 3:30, all right, on ACC Network. And I'm not saying Syracuse has a chance, but I'm saying Syracuse has a chance here in this matchup.
So Syracuse Florida State is 11-2 against Syracuse at home. Sorry, overall, ever since being joining the ACC. FSU has never, ever lost a game to Syracuse, ever at home. Here's the problem with that. We never lost to an FCS team before either. We haven't been 0-4 in about 45 years. But I think I said this earlier to AJ and JJ also, that I think this is the first game, even from Monday and Tuesday, where I actually am confident that we can win this game, primarily because this is the only team I think in the entire, Atlantic and Coastal that has as bad QB play as us, whether it be Tommy DeVito and Garrett Schrader. Their offensive line isn't that great either. And also, they have a great running back in Sean Tucker. That kid's so damn good, so damn fast. He has great vision too. Like
Florida State has, if we're doing, play for play here.
Yeah, like it's a mirror. It's literally it's like that Spider-Man meme. We're like, oh my God, it's me. You're like, it's back and forth. Yeah, like that's literally what it is. And so to me, it's going to come down to coaching. And I've been very, very harsh on Mike Norvell. I thought the play calling got us out of Notre Dame. I thought Jacksonville State, he was playing with his food way too early. Like, my guy, we're not that good. And then Wake, just defensively and then offensively, was poor. But then against Louisville, that was the best game I think we've played all year. And I include Notre Dame in that because we had 9 months to prepare for Notre Dame. With that one, Norvell got the play calling back. Adam Fuller, I think, had a little bit of help with Randy Shannon and Chris Marr with the defensive adjustments. Please, we still need to get a new DC, folks. But I think that this game actually is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. But then Dino also, it's low-key going to be probably the most interesting game of the weekend.
Dino's been squeaking out wins when it matters. And I think, this is the season to where, one, they've won 2 more games than they did last year. So I'm already feeling good about my guy. Sean Tucker, literally, last game, 175 yards, 9 receptions, 1 touchdown. He's been smoking people. He gives me Mateo Durant energy in terms of just putting the team on your back. And I think it's just time to see, can Syracuse defense put up or shut up? Can they actually hold Mackenzie Milton to, minimal yards, which he's kind of done for these past couple games. He's figuring it out. But of course, the adjustments, when you're not the man from start to finish, it's hard to just get in there and try to be like, oh yeah, I'm the man now. Everyone respect me. Everyone let me do what I do. So everyone's trying to fill you out. It's like you didn't go to the team. You didn't have the bonding experience, I guess you say, as you might have thought from the start of the season until now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And also, it doesn't help that our wide receivers are actually probably that's the one thing that I was talking to a friend of mine who was actually at the game. I'm like, hey, can you do me a favor? Could you watch the wideouts for me? Because you can't see them out in the telecast because I don't know why ESPN2 has poor camera angles. But he's like, yeah, they're not getting separation. And one of the big things with the Mackenzie Milton and Jordan Travis debate was, are our wideouts actually going to be able to get open for them? And that was one of my big things. Like, if they can, I want to roll with Mackenzie because he is the better thrower. He's the better passer. But if they can't get open, you can't reconcile it. So you might as well go back to Jordan Travis, because at least with the backyard football, he can actually do it. And also, Mackenzie Milton's arm is nowhere near what it used to be because he can't really step into it with his leg as we've been seeing. And Jordan Travis, as much as I malign him with some of his throwing, would be short intermediate passes, that man throws the prettiest deep balls, like butter. It's just leaves his hand, coasts like a rainbow. It's like Russell Wilson-esque. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see.
If McKenzie was 3 inches taller, it would be.
He's so short. I love the guy. He's so short.
He wouldn't have to throw that knee, but I get it. He's doing what he can. So I think overall, if you had to pick between the two, we'll go through, of course, our betting analysis. But I am giving Syracuse the edge.
Okay. I mean, we're gonna win the game. I'm just gonna say that flat out right now. We are, but we're not gonna cover though. I will say it's gonna literally come down to they're gonna have the ball. We're gonna be up. We're gonna be like, oh no, we're gonna lose Syracuse at home. We're gonna lose
Oh
Syracuse at home.
no.
We're gonna lose Syracuse at home.
Oh
And
no, no,
then
no, no.
either they, oh yeah, exactly, or they drop a pass, or they miss a game-winning field goal. And you know what? I'm gonna take it because right now I need a dub for my sanity.
I think if Florida State is 0-5 coming into next week, I don't know if we're gonna get the same kind of perky Drizzy Drake, and that's fine. But I totally understand. I totally understand. But at least I'll have you equipped and ready to go because I'm gonna send you a box of my favorites, and that's Built Bar. There you go. I'm gonna send you my favorite Built Bar. Listen, Cherry Barcia is that thing, but this week we had some coconut. What is it? Cookie dough. That was what it was. So many flavors. Can't keep them up. We had some cookie dough flavors, right? And so we love choosing. If you don't know by now, you can get 9 delicious flavors from Built Bar. If you haven't tried all the flavors, you can get a mix box where you get 2 of each of the 9. Not only are the flavors best tasting, but they're healthy too. 17 to 18 grams of protein, only 4 to 5 grams of sugar, only 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. Amazing flavors, all tasty, all healthy. Order today and get your raspberry, orange, cookies and cream, German chocolate, or more, or whatever you like. Go to BuiltBar.com, use promo code LOCK15, or you can get 15% off at BuiltBar.com. All right, so we're talking to Drizzy Drake here from Locked On Seminoles. Every single day, he gives you that good when it comes to those Florida State Seminoles. They are trying to go at least get one win. They don't want to go 0-5 because that would be crucial. But let's switch gears and talk about the Coastal, right? We have a lot of conversations around rivalry week. UNC and Duke just happen to be rivals, and they are playing at noon on Saturday. Sam Howell coming into the series with over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. He is trying to figure out how to get back in the groove. He has a great guy in Josh Downs, who has 32 receptions, 452 yards, with 5 touchdowns on the season. And yet, we still feel like this game might be close thanks to a young man by the name of Mateo Durant, who has 522 yards on the season and 8 touchdowns. Can Gunnar Holmberg hold a candle to Sam Howell this game? And what will it say if he does and they should beat the UNC Tar Heels? Drizzy Drake, I'm feeling nervous about this, more than I probably should, but here we are.
You should though. I'm gonna begin with this. I think every time I picked your team to win very well, y'all lose. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a different, vibe here to help you, calm your nerves a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mateo Durant is a sicko. The kid literally is the best running back in the ACC. I mean, he is taking the mantle from Travis Etienne to be the best running back in the league. And right now, he was just dominating from start to finish against Kansas. I mean, I didn't think Kansas was a very good team, but he had 124 yards, almost average 6 yards a carry. And then also, he finally has a quarterback to kind of help him out short of the load. Like we had him as Atlas, and now Gunnar Holmberg isn't throwing the game away like Chase Bryce did last year. And he threw for 330 yards. And this game is going to be, it's not going to be enjoyable for you guys, mainly because your rushing defense isn't particularly great.
I think let's talk about that. 22 penalties on the year so far this season, and they allow for up to 37.5 points per game. I think Carolina, if they don't know how to wrap up this game, they're going to be out of it. If they can't figure out how to tackle Mateo Durant in the open field, we're going to have a long day, fellas. That's just simple as that. It sucks that we have to play Duke in early October. Normally, this is a little bit further into the season, and you get kind of more hype. But your Coastal Division championship is on the line here. I no more participation trophy rings where we probably should have won X, Y. No tie. F that. If you want to be standing alone, going to Charlotte in December, you have to dominate this team here that you see before you in the Blue Devils because they're quiet as it's kept. The Blue Devils having a great season. Nobody thought they'd be this good.
I mean, not only that, like you said, it's a rivalry game. One of the big things that I harp on with our own team is that, I mean, you saw it last year that these games used to matter not only to the students but to the players themselves, primarily because you grew up with each other. You grew up playing Pop Warner from you're 5 to middle school to high school, and then you go to rival colleges. We see it at FSU Miami all the time, and one of the big things is hey, I need a player or players to show hey, we care. We hate those guys. This is something it's an affront to us if we lose to them or even let them score any points. And that's something that I think Sam Howell understands. I mean, you read a stat line, he has 1,100 yards. That's absolutely absurd. And that's something that I know I want to see out of our own players. But then now you have Mateo Durant, who, I mean, he hasn't beat you guys at all. And that's something he wants to do. And that's a scary thought because, like I said before, your rush defense is terrifying. And not only that, like this is going to be the first in a few games that you're going to face a really good rushing attack. So this is going to be a testament and like it's going to be a barometer to see how you guys fare for the rest of the year against these offenses that have really good running backs.
Well, see, we had a great test against Georgia Tech, except the fact that we had a really good rushing quarterback in Jeff Sims,
Okay,
and then you
Jeffson
get
just
hit with Jameer Gibbs. So, like, you got ass smacked. So, if anything, defense is having a long conversation this week in terms of, hey, can we figure out how to, I don't know, catch a cold, like, or stop anybody when it comes to the run game. So, I think that's. I'm just zen here. Like I can't even get upset anymore. I don't feel any emotion. I'm just like, oh, did we win? Oh, did we lose? That's
that's
just what
me.
it is.
That's where I'm at right now. It's awesome. It's a great feeling, Candace. You just give up on your team. You're just like, you know what? I'm okay with this. I'm numb to the pain. I'm
I'm
joking,
numb
folks. I'm
to the
fine.
pain. And then of course, we normally talk about Virginia, but as we mentioned, we are recording the show at the time that they are playing Miami. And listen, I think that overall, I'll be pleased if Virginia can, put up great numbers, but also defensively, if they can hold a candle to Miami's offense. Because again, you're not even playing against De'Aaron King. You're playing with the backup. Can you try and wrap somebody up, right? Can you figure out ways to get back in the game or make some defensive plays? Can you, do some takeaways? It's not happening at the moment as we talk about the first quarter, but it is happening at the first quarter. It is a 9-0 game as we're recording, like I mentioned, but how are you going to have a quarterback like Brennan Armstrong and not want to step up a little bit more for him?
Yeah, I mean, this is the game that literally it's going to show how bad this Virginia defense is because, like you said, Derek King is not playing, and also Jake Garcia, who is their almost 5-star QB, is also not playing. So you're having Tyler Van Dyke, who is your third string, and then the backup is a walk on. So you really, really, really need to be like, hey, we need to put pressure on these kids, and also this offensive line is also down a few players and has not lived up to the billing. Give him a little bit of help. I mean, we just saw with 9-0, like they just got a safety. So it's already showing up that they're actually showcasing and pushing their will. And it's a Thursday game. And also, no one down here, I can tell you, I just left my office an hour ago. No one down here cares that they beat Central Connecticut State by 6-0. I mean, it's
Not
great for
one.
them, but they need to win these coastal games because they're upset that the coastal and the ACC as a whole is this bad. And yet they can't do win at all anything right now. And so Virginia with
Yeah.
a quarterback like Brandon Armstrong, they need to me, they need to win this game in order to show like how they are, where their standing is in the ACC. Because right now we have no idea what they are outside of Brandon Armstrong.
So as it stands, if Virginia were to win this game tonight against Miami, they would be tied for third in the Coastal with North Carolina with 1-2 in conference play. But you have the Yellow Jackets that are sitting at 1-1, and then Virginia Tech who's sitting at 1-0. So we're getting to the thick of it. Duke has not played a conference game yet. Pittsburgh has not played a conference game yet. This is Miami's first, and they're playing Virginia. So there's a lot of ball left to be played when it comes to the Coastal, and we all know anything can happen on any freaking given day. But I'm feeling like I think Pittsburgh is going to ultimately have the crown when it comes to Coastal Division. What are your thoughts?
It's weird, but that sounds like it's something that's actually going to happen because they have Kenny Pickett, who like I mean, we've said a lot that he's the man, and like he's getting national acclaim too. He's probably like if they didn't lose the game against Western Michigan, I think we'd all be saying that Kenny Pickett's the best QB actually in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I still think we can say that because he didn't lose that game.
no, you're right. The defense did, and the play calling did, and Pat Narduzzi did. But yeah, like that to me, that's the most coastal thing that happened. A team that we all thought was just, they're there. Like, I mean, I call Pat
Yeah.
Narduzzi a plant when we're doing our coaching rankings in the beginning of the year. So that actually would make a lot of sense because they have what,
Yeah.
a good college team needs is a very, very good quarterback, and they have a defensive minded coach. And their schedule, I mean, it's the rest of his ACC play, and they through a coastal that's very, each your own. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
Now, when we look at the Atlantic Division, we have currently, as it stands, Wake Forest in first place at 2-0, Louisville and NC State tied for third at 1-0, and Clemson with 1-1. The Eagles have not yet played a conference team. Syracuse and Florida State both are looking for a big matchup this weekend that they're sitting at the bottom, and Florida State is clearly a bottom by a good bit with that 0-2 start. But like I said, the fact that Clemson got taken down, it's still anybody's game. A lot of people still think Clemson is going to come out and win, but I personally feel like it's going to be NC State or Wake Forest.
I think it's going to be NC State or Wake Forest. Clemson's done. I'm sorry. I mean, you see now that Dabos, when you haven't heard the bring your own gut speech yet, I haven't heard all the stuff. The moment we saw him in that video run
Yeah.
out from the rock, I'm like, oh yeah, these guys got about to get creamed in this game. So no, I mean, to me, it's NC State. I think Dave Dorn finally is going to hit that, break through that ceiling, get the 10 wins, maybe 11. Wake Forest doing well too. And also, we haven't talked about Boston College yet. I mean, Dennis Purcell, he's been he's impressed me. He's played a lot better than I thought he would with Phil Dracovic being out. And then Jeff Hafley, give him credit. He stuffed the alpha nerd Elijah Drinkowitz in the locker back into Missouri, and they play Clemson this weekend. And the first half last year, BC owned DJ Ongalele, and he's not confident right now at all whatsoever. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that game goes, because I think right now it's NC State with Wake Forest, and then maybe Boston College might slip in there too and make a conversation.
Well, let's have this conversation about all of the betting action that we're going to get into throughout all of the games for the Week 5 matchups after we remind you about BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to bet on all sports action. Listen, if you have not yet headed over to betonline.ag, it's got a new updated site and interface with even more odds, props, and contests. BetOnline continues to be the number one source for everything football. Head to the website, use your mobile device, sign up today to receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use promo code Locked On to receive your welcome bonus. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. Bet online, where the game starts. All right, college football fanatics, have you heard about Prize Picks? Prize Picks is a daily fantasy made easy. I love this, and I know you will too. It's the leader in college sports daily fantasy, offers any prop you can think of from yardage to touchdowns, even interceptions thrown. All the users that deposit and use just your promo code will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Just be sure to use promo code Locked On. You pick 2 to 5 players and an over-under on their projections, and you can win up to 10 times on any entry, and it's just you versus the projected numbers. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals. Don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com. Use promo code Locked On or go to the App Store and download the app today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. We're wrapping up the show here with AJ. God, why have I said AJ's name all freaking week? That happened to me yesterday.
He's the man. That's why.
Know. You know what it is. So AJ, I was following a young lady who covers Clemson, and I saw that he was going to be on her radio show talking about the game, as we're about to mention here. And I was like, oh my God, that's my dog. That's AJ. That's my co-host. It's my homie. So I'm sitting here hyping him up. So he's been on my brain for a minute. So that's 2 shows in that I've welcomed back somebody who was not AJ. So Drizzy Drake, my apologies. Locked On Seminoles host. He is going to be holding it down for us. But let's get back to some of these scores and some betting action we've got going on here. Now, when it comes to the ACC, as we all know, anybody's game, Virginia and Miami, happening as we're recording. But then let's get to the Saturday games, right? Pitt and Georgia Tech. I think it's going to be a good one. Currently, as it stands, I believe it's -3. It might be more.
I would say, yeah, because I took it at open at -3. Yeah, okay. Still -3.
Okay. I think that Pitt... that Georgia Tech defense showed me something against Carolina. However, I don't know. I feel like either Jeff Sims, like the way they kind of surprised Carolina with Jeff Sims coming in, I think Pittsburgh's going to be expecting that. That's why I give Pitt the upper hand in this one, but you just never know with any of these teams. I think I gave too much credit to Pittsburgh's defense, and stopping Jahmyr Gibbs this weekend is going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. The problem is I actually really, really like Pat Narduzzi when he's favored by less than 4 points. I think he's I think he wins. I think that's like a 65% clip or something like that. And also, I mean, I bet against GT again when they played Clemson and then when they played UNC. So I'm 0 for 2 for right now. I'm not going to go 0 for 3. And I think Kenny Pickett's the better QB. And like you said, they put a lot of film out there with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jeff Sims both running the ball. And if someone's going to lock him down, it's Pat Narduzzi. So give me actually Pitt at -3. So, and to win the game, obviously.
Okay, cool. And then we have Carolina and Duke. It's what, -20? Do you see that? Am I making this up?
19.5 now.
19.5. All right, cool. Yeah, absolutely not. Carolina's not putting many points up against Duke. Like, Duke's going to get in there. Sorry. You're putting a lot of faith in Carolina's defense, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm going to take UNC to win, but I'm going to take Duke to probably maybe lose the game by maybe 7 to 10 points. It's going to be like that kind of nail-biter kind of game, and also there's going to be a lot of running the ball, especially with Mateo Durant. because of your defense. So I'm going to go with that. I think that's probably the best move right there. So give me Duke plus 19.5 as of this recording.
Absolutely. And then Louisville and Wake Forest. Wake currently I see -7. It might be different, but you go for it. You read me the lines. Maybe I'm reading them wrong.
No.
They might have updated.
It just actually changed. It's now -6.5 for Wake. Actually, I took Wake
I'm
at
not
my.
reading more lines.
No, I got you. I actually took Wake at -6. I think they're for real. I mean, they proved me immensely wrong by absolutely just dominating every facet of the game. And also, did you know that they're out of all teams in the country, whether it be Power 5 or Group of 5, they're the 4th best team in ball control. So whenever they have the ball, they capitalize, they execute, and make sure that you don't have a chance to get back in the game. And Louisville, when against Florida State, that second half, they might have pulled the gas a little bit back, but also they're missing Braden Smith. Malik Cunningham played good.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback, but I think Sam Hartman's the better quarterback, and Dave Clawson's the much better coach. So give me Wake Forest at -6.5 to win the game.
In fun times, I will be at that game this weekend, so I'm excited to
That's
see
dope.
Sam Hartman in Louisville in person, and Sam Hartman and Demon Deacons, and then Malik Cunningham in Louisville in person. So I'm really pretty pumped for that. But then 3:30, you've got Syracuse and Florida State. Man, oh man, I'm telling you, y'all better go with Syracuse. Don't play with him. Don't play with our guys. Don't play with Dino.
I like the too. We're going to win this game. Folks, this is the first time on the show I've actually picked us outright to win a game from the jump. I don't know why. I had
to like build your confidence for other people. Like I've had to be like, no, you be a homer. And like I flipped you. But this is the first one. Are you pretty confident you're going to win?
Yeah, I actually think that we're going to win this game. Now, is it going to be nice? No. It's going to be ugly as sin. It's going to be, I'm going to probably be sitting there. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this team tricked me again. But no, I actually legitimately think that the second half team that we saw on defense, especially, is what we're going to be. Now, Syracuse's run defense is kind of decent, but I think we have the backs there. And also, our run defense is really, really solid. And if we can neutralize Sean Tucker, as you know, Rutgers did by limiting to, I think, 54 yards, I think a few weeks ago, and make Garrett Schrader or Tommy DeVito, aka Dan DeVito, pass the ball, then I feel good about it. So give me us to win. We're not going to cover the 4.5 though, so take Syracuse there, and also take the under at 51 because it's going to be a lot of run the ball, and it's going to be a very fast game. And for my heart, that's going to help a lot, actually.
No doubt. Louisiana Tech and NC State. Is NC State going to get a hangover and slip up against Louisiana Tech, who almost beat the Mississippi State, a very bad Mississippi State team at that. But, NC State couldn't get it done.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in the hangover with this. I think that literally, I think they'll be fine. I think they're actually going to win this game.
Okay. Do you think they're going to roll?
I think they're going to roll. I don't know about 18.5. I think that's a lot of points. I think Austin Kendall's the quarterback there at Louisiana Tech. So I'm going to take NC State to win the game. And if we're going to be on, I'm going to take the under 55 too, because I think there's going to be a lot of defense play that game too. So
good stuff. And then finally, we've got the game that you've been hyping up, Boston College and what my guys, good Lord, Clemson. There it is. Boston College and Clemson should be a great game. I think Boston College is going to give them a little more trouble than people are thinking, but it would have been I would have picked the upset if Phil Dracovic was playing. I think Clemson squeaks it out. I think this is a coming out show for DJ, and he finally gets it together.
I still don't think he comes out actually with that. I still think they win the game, but I don't think he has a coming out party. I banked on that, I think, a little bit like the week before against Georgia Tech. It didn't show up. That's why I picked NC State to cover, and they eventually won the game. And I think Dennis Grosel has showed a lot over the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks since he filled in for Phil Dracovic, and that's a Boston College team that took Clemson down the wire, and Jeff Hafley has been thinking about that game for a while. So
yeah,
I'm going to take Clemson to win the game again, but it's going to be a game, like you said, they're going to squeak one out. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is tied or Boston College is leading up into the fourth quarter.
Can you imagine Boston College beating Clemson? That's breaking some spirits right there.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. I just want to see Dabo's face in the press conference. Like, we didn't bring our own guts. Sorry.
That solidifies to me none of the ACC making the college football play. Like, I know they said that for NC State, sure, but there was still hope. To me, there was still hope. Somebody could have. But, if Clemson loses to Boston College, I think it's a done deal.
Yeah, I think Clemson's not even a top 50 team now at this point, just by the way they've been playing. It's just, I hate to be the hater, but NC State, the way they're playing, if they keep winning, they can make a conference for that. And also, same thing with Wake Forest too, because if Wake Forest is undefeated, and then they play NC State, I think, at the end of the year, I think, and they win that, then you might have a conversation for not only the New Year's Six Bowl, but maybe a playoff spot, maybe depending on how everyone else checks out. So, hey, Wake,
that's true.
Look it up.
True. Wake, we're depending on you. Oh my goodness,
go Nerds.
Who knew we'd be having this conversation here at week 5? Drizzy Drake, it's always a pleasure to have you in the building. Can you please remind folks of where they can find you and follow your work?
Guys, you can follow me at Tally__Drake, as you see in the full below. If you're watching this YouTube, if not, that's what it is. In the podcast medium, you can follow at LO_Seminoles, the podcast. You can follow my co-host at MaxMoody17, and also join our community at Knowles Anonymous. We have a Discord. Send your questions, send your mail. We'll read it out on the podcast as well. And we're fans first, people second, and content creators third. And Knowles, please give me something to cheer about on Saturday. I don't want to waste another afternoon of my life. Love you guys.
Never want to waste any time here. We never waste time here at the Locked On ACC podcast. But if you want more betting action, betting news, what to bet on this weekend, we strongly encourage you to hit up our Locked On Bets podcast with your boy Q and Lee Sterling. Listen, they have all the things that you need to get ready. It is the podcast brought to you by BetOnline.ag. So make sure you hit it up. It's available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts. For Drizzy, Drake, and Candace, we hope you guys have a great weekend. Please stay smart and safe out there. We are through week 5. We'll be back to recap, and then we'll get you ready for week 6 here. It's just a great time, and then we're a couple steps closer to basketball season. So, Drizzy Drake, I'm just saying, you might be at basketball school, and that's okay. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's all right.
We'll wait for, I think it's like 40 days from now. We'll wait on that.
No doubt. Until next time, guys.